This is my new crazy camera rig that's gonna help me film my YouTube videos. I'm gonna give you a tour and answer some questions. Oh, and hi, it's been a while. Missed you. So this is my new YouTube office, moved out of my old one, way too small. This is way bigger, love it way more. And in this space, I wanted the ability to film different backdrops. Like here I have a white wall where I can film white wall videos or make thumbnails. And this over here is gonna be my main talking head video for product reviews and unboxings. So I wanted to come up with this camera rig on wheels that had everything on it, from lights to my mic to my camera, but on wheels so that I can easily move it around the studio. And this is what I came up with. It's a work in progress, and so I'm probably gonna change things throughout time, but for now, I'm just gonna give you a tour of my crazy camera rig. All right, so first and foremost, the rolling stand that I'm using is the Impact rolling stand. I love this thing, I've used it for years, and it has these really nice casters that make it really smooth to move this entire rig throughout the office. And on my rolling stand, I have an Impact boom arm that's meant to hold heavy objects overhead, such as my key light over here and my modifier. The key light that I'm using is the Aputure 300D Mark II, and the modifier that I'm using is the Aputure Light Dome Mark II. And I don't know if I'm gonna have this high-angled light pointing down as my main key light. I may change it to something else, I don't know, but for now I just wanted a nice little overhead light. And of course, to support this overhead rig, I attached two 5-pound sandbags to the back end of this boom arm, although I will be getting a 10-pound BOA sandbag just because I feel it's easier than hanging two 5-pound sandbags. So with the counterweights here and my overhead light over there, this whole rig doesn't tip over, at least it hasn't yet, but I just ordered a 15-pound sandbag just to put onto one of the legs, just in case. And with the Aputure 300D, the control box is at the bottom, held by a super clamp, which is nice because it just makes it really easy to attach to a stand. And yes, it is plugged into the wall, but I probably will be getting a V-mount battery, so it truly makes this entire rig portable. But this crazy doohickey is a Manfrotto Magic Arm, and it's really, really strong and strong enough to hold a camera like my A7R5 and a Sony 50mm G Master lens. This is not going to be my main camera for YouTube videos. I'm just putting it there just for example, but that is where my camera is going to be. Everything should be leveled out perfectly, but if I need to make adjustments, I just gotta loosen this little knob over here and make those adjustments just to make sure that the camera is leveled. And holding this magic arm is a grip head, which is attached to a super clamp that's attached to the actual rolling stand. And so, yeah, everything is kind of just attached to this stand. Oh, and what's really cool about this end of the Magic Arm is that it also uses my favorite quick release system, the Manfrotto RC2, which makes it super easy to attach and detach cameras. Love, love that thing. And then moving on to the audio, which is probably the weirdest thing on my little crazy camera rig. This little audio boom arm is from Impact. It goes on a baby pin, and what's holding this entire boom arm is a right-angled Cardellini clamp. So it's a little hard to see, but this is a Cardellini clamp, and I wanted to get a right angle one because I wanted the baby pin to point up that way. And that way I can attach this entire boom arm on that baby pin. And Cardellinis are just great. They're super strong, can hold heavy items. And I thought it was perfect to hold this crazy boom arm for my audio. And speaking of audio, the mic that I'll be using for my YouTube talking heads is a Rode VideoMic NTG. And there's an audio cable plugged in that kind of wraps around the audio boom arm, which then connects to my camera. Here we go, here's the audio cable. Just plug it into my camera, just like so. Just like so. Just, maybe it helps if I go around. Just like so. There you go. Oh, and behind me is where I'm going to be filming most of my YouTube videos, and so let's answer some questions and test out this crazy camera rig. All right, here it is. What do you think? Still a work in progress, but so far, I'm digging it. Also, how about that second camera angle? Pretty sick. All right, let's answer some questions. All right, this one's from Ryan White. Who is your favorite YouTuber that you'd love to meet or work with someday? Ooh, that's a good question. And it always changes like every year because I'm just a huge fan of like all types of YouTube creators, and oftentimes I get to meet my favorite YouTubers. But this year, who do I want to meet with and collab with? Oh, I know, Teppo Hapoya. He's such a cool guy. I mean, we've been DMing each other, just kind of trying to figure out, hey, we should FaceTime, whatever, and just kind of connect more. And he really seems like an overall cool, chill kind of guy that I would love to film with. And so yeah, he's definitely become one of my favorite YouTubers so far. And I love all his videos. Like, they're great. They're very educational. They're filmed very, very well. And it would be so cool to collab with him one day. And Teppo, if you're watching, hi. All right, next question. Does the A7 IV handle snowstorms? Yes. I mean, if you're talking about weather sealing, then yeah, it should be capable. I mean, I've taken the A7 IV out in the rain, and if it can survive rain, then I'm pretty sure it could survive a snowstorm. Unless this question meant like, can it defeat snowstorms? I don't know. Never had that question before. Next question is from Louise. What would you do differently if you were to start your YouTube channel today? Wow. I don't know. Gosh, it's hard. What would I do differently? I guess I'd probably film on my phone a lot more, as opposed to like worry about getting like the latest and greatest, the best mic, the best camera, the best lens. Like I would just film first 10, 20 videos on my phone. And like phones today are way better than what phones were years ago, especially when I started. And so yeah, having a video filmed on a phone looks almost as good as some of the mirrorless cameras out today. And with the phone, it's just like, it's the most accessible camera you have because it's in your pocket. And if you're vlogging something, like you can quickly take out your phone from your pocket and just vlog. Where with a mirrorless camera, you kind of have to bring this heavy thing all around. And I remember when I first started, like having a big camera gear was like the cool thing. Now I don't like carrying anything heavy. I mean, my current setup right now, the A7S III 16 and 35 is a really heavy setup. And I don't know if you remember, but the mic that I used back then was the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. Like that was a very, very thick mic. Where today I now have a much smaller mic, which is the Sony digital mic, and I love that thing so much, mainly because of the size. And so, yeah, I don't like carrying heavy camera gear, man. It's not fun. But if I had to start all over again, starting my YouTube channel, I would film a lot more on my phone than with a mirrorless camera. Although I will say it is nice acquiring gear so that you can have multiple camera setups kind of like this. Next question is from Paul. Paul asks, what lens should I pair with my Sony ZV-E10 to get the most out of it? Like a one lens does it all, great for photos, great for crispy B-roll. I actually made a video about 3 lenses that you can use with the Sony ZV-E10. There's the Sony 11mm, a great wide lens. There's the Sony 15mm. That's a super, super sharp prime lens, and it's a lens that I recently just bought. And then there's the Sony 10-20 wide angle zoom lens. That's probably the lens to get if you wanted one lens to kind of do it all, but it is f4 and there is no optical steady shot in the lens. But if you don't mind that, then yeah, the 10-20 would be a great lens. Or you can go with another brand, the Sigma 16mm contemporary lens. That is a fantastic lens. It's super sharp, very affordable, and it's somewhat wide to vlog with. And so if budget's more your thing, then I'd probably go with the Sigma 16 contemporary lens. But if you want to get a native Sony lens, then the Sony 11mm, 15mm, and the 10-20 would be some pretty good options. In fact, I made a review video about those lenses, and so if you want to check it out, you can watch it right over here. Next question, what's your first camera way back in college? How was the shooting and editing? My first camera in college was actually a Nikon camera. This was probably the year before DSLRs came out. Oh, what was it? It was a Nikon, oh, I forgot. But I loved it because I shot on film, and I used it for my cinematography class in film school, and it was really, really great. And then I moved over to the Canon T2i, the Rebel T2i. And for those of you that remember, the Canon T2i was such a game changer. Like I love that camera. Actually, no, hold on. Before any of that, my actual first camera in college was the Panasonic DVX 100A. That was the first camera to shoot in 24p, and that was like a huge thing back in the day. Like most cameras can only shoot 30 frames per second, which looked like a soap opera or a home video. But with the DVX 100A, like shooting at 24p felt like I was using like some sort of cinema camera. It was like magic. That was my first camera. Wow, I can't believe I forgot about that. I almost wish I had that camera. Like I just kind of want to have it just hanging on a shelf or something like that. Like such a great camera. And if you guys have shot with the Panasonic DVX 100, let me know in the comments below. That was good times, man. Good times. Such a great camera. Next question. 10 years ago, I was marveled by the quality of phone cameras versus DSLR. Where do you see us in another 10 years? I guess I kind of see more AI being integrated in cameras and phones. Like the tech and AI like now is really impressive, also kind of scary. But one of the cameras that I have, the Sony a7R5, which is the camera I'm filming with right now, has a dedicated AI processor in the camera, which recognizes human skeletal movements and tracks humans, animals, birds, trains, all that stuff very accurately. It's crazy cool, very impressive, which is why I wanted to get that camera. And so yeah, I kind of see more AI being integrated into a lot of tech in the future, but I guess we'll see. Let me know, what do you think you'll see in the next 10 years in camera technology? Man, if the Panasonic DVX had AI, game changer. I would like sell all my Sony cameras. And the last question is, what is the most useless piece of gear you bought that you think would be super helpful? The most useless piece of gear I bought that would be the most super helpful? I don't know, I'm kind of looking around. Like, I love all the gear that I have. I would say, oh, okay. So you don't see it, but there's this light bar on top of my monitor that kind of shines a light on my monitor. It kind of helps with eye strain. That kind of replaces having a lamp on your desk, but I love that thing because it's super minimal, very low profile, and the fact that it reduces eye strain whenever I'm editing videos is incredibly helpful. At first I wasn't sure if it was gonna be helpful or not, and so I guess it kind of puts in the category of useless, but I found it to be incredibly helpful, especially as I'm editing in front of my computer all day. And so yeah, if you don't have a light bar for your monitor, get a light bar, it's magic. And I think that's all the questions. And so yeah, this is actually the very first video that I filmed with my camera rig and my YouTube desk. And so yeah, I'm excited to see how it turns out. But yeah, if you have any questions about my crazy monstrous camera rig or my current YouTube setup, then let me know in the comments below. But other than that, that's a wrap. That's a wrap for this video. Camera A, camera B. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you have an incredible rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. That was fun. Panasonic DVX. Miss that thing.